Greetings, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Hail to each and every one of you. I hope many of you are still listening to Andre's incredible narration of the Masters of the Universe retrospective part 4, the movie that ended the franchise. I think it's fantastic. I have been over there in the chat and listening to it there as well in preparation for the show. As soon as that wraps up, obviously, Tom will join me. Hopefully you guys are checking that out. Dapper Bard Games, I hope you're feeling better. It looks like I'm just going to say hi to each and every one of you, and we'll get fired up. Hamdinger, Tom will be here in just a little bit, as soon as he's done over there with the premiere of the Masters of the Universe retrospective part 4 that they're doing over there. I have to tell you, you learn a lot, and they broke some news. Hopefully Tom will be able to explain it here when he joins us today in just a little while. Now, a little bit of programming note before I say hi to everybody. Tomorrow's 6-Minute Daily will be a live pre-record, kind of like we did a week or so ago when I was traveling. So I will be this afternoon or this evening recording the 6-Minute Daily, but it will run live like any other normal live stream, and I will be live in the chat making comments for whatever that's worth. But what it will allow is for there to be some consistency so that I don't get punished by the logarithm. But you can check that out, and then videos will release as normal. I've got a couple more to record before I travel so that I get ahead. We've got great stuff coming out right now. Yesterday's video did really well, over 2,000 views from based on the metrics. So thank you for that. If you haven't seen yesterday's video on AI, check it out. It is spooky. Also, today's video was fortuitous. I had put that one together during the course of the weekend, and of course, come to find out this morning, they're already looking to let go of more BuzzFeed employees over there. So hang on to your hats and glasses. The pink slips are coming. If you work in entertainment, no worries, Tom and Andre. I appreciate it. Again, their premiere is amazing. So if you guys are doing double duty right now, that's fantastic. I appreciate it, and I know they do too. I hate to pull an audience, and had I known they were going to go live, I would have pushed this clock back just a little bit. Anyway, I just want to say hi to you all. So we'll start first with my number one promoter right now, Grumpy Old Ninja Kintaro OA. Thank you, my friend, for the promotion. I truly appreciate you, everything that you do. You're an amazing human. And of course, we've got our good buddy Spork here. So yay, I love these guys. Well, it's just me right now, but yeah, Tom will be here. Tom will be here soon. We've got Trav101 saying greetings to everyone. Xenomorph is in the house. Hail CultureCasino and the Tom Father. The Tom Father is coming. Chris Mead is here. And for those of you who don't know, Chris Mead brings it up in the chat here. I do have a Gilded server. I'm going to start promoting it widely. I'm even going to put a little link on the channel banner here sometime today so that you will be able to intercommunicate and have more direct access. If you guys have something that's breaking or whatever, I have people that send me information that work inside Hollywood of course. I don't run with a lot of it, but I do run with stuff I can verify. But honestly, I like I said, it's another just a place for us to communicate. I want to get it to a point where I can move a lot of communication over there. So not only can I do live streams, but when I open up the next tier, the whales, which I had planned to do a couple weeks ago, when I open up that next tier of membership for the YouTube channel, I will be able to actually have people get some special access stuff that isn't actually going to be featured on YouTube. So that'll be kind of neat. And of course, obviously, I'll feature some gaming over there and some collaboration with the boss, which will make its way to obviously all the other platforms and everything else. So very excited for that indeed. Let's see. We got Dr. Dragon in the house saying, howdy, folks. Well, howdy to you. Let's see who else has rolled in since we started. That 70s rock fan. Hey, what's going on, man? That 70s rock fan's doing really well. He started using the Gilded server that I have, and he put his video and his live stuff. He promotes it on the calendar. If you remember, you can promote some stuff on the calendar, actually not technically in the calendar. It's on the video talk. There's a whole channel dedicated to video talk. You can post it in there and go from there. I do have some deals with other creators where I have their videos posting in the calendar alongside mine and auto posting over in the channel. The channel video talk. So do check that out as well. That's very cool. I really like this thing. It's a lot more I'm not going to say user friendly. No, I am going to say user friendly. It's a lot more user friendly than Discord is, and it's a lot more people friendly and opinion friendly than Discord is. So yeah, I will be leaving most of the Discord stuff outside of gaming with maybe Ords until he switches over to Gilded. But I have a feeling we're all going to kind of migrate there. It's a little more free speechy and less preachy. So. But it's good to see all of you. Thanks for rolling in here. Let's see. Cosmic Squirrel is in the house. What's up, Cosmic Squirrel? Of course, we've got our good friend Terry Rose here, and the primary host for the day is here. His name is Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge. He just hosted an amazing premiere over on the Midnight's Edge channel of the retrospective part 4 for the He-Man film.
Yeah. Sorry I'm a little late. We wanted to drop it sooner, but we had to wait to get approval. So yeah.
I know. Yeah. And I it was funny because I was like, I should just push the stream back 5 or 10 minutes, and I didn't get around to hitting it before it was time to go live. But I'm stoked. I was in there watching it, the premiere as it was rolling. So Andre had given me the heads up. So man, you guys do incredible work. You broke a piece of information that hadn't been.
Well, there was a few pieces we kind of did. I mean, some of that stuff was out there, but we kind of put most of it together. And then there was the bit about Captain America that's never really been unsurfaced before.
Yeah, and the whole weird history with Canon films, especially at the end with Goddard, right, with his separate company, and then it kind of collapsing because he had some personal.
Well, he had some accusations lobbied at him, and then he stepped down from his company. No charges were ever brought.
No.
One of those individuals who did accuse him, though, was his name Anthony Edwards or whatever from ER and Revenge of the Nerds, though.
Right.
So, yeah, it's one of those things. There's
we cover some weird stuff, and it's really important that we continually say allegedly when it comes to some of these things, because
that's just it. And it's funny you mentioned that, because we got through the video, and I crap you not, it got past me like 50 times. Andre actually said charges, and I'm like, Andre, we got to take that out. He's like, oh crap, good thing you caught that, because no charges have ever been brought. There was only just accusations made in interviews and such. So yeah, we got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just dangerous. And so
it's also one of the reasons why we didn't do a Bryan Singer video before.
Oh gosh, no kidding.
Again, I'm not getting into the logistics of it, but I'm not saying he's innocent, but let's just say there's some questions behind the accusations and who put up the accusations.
It's getting weird, and again, you have to be careful especially if you're a commenter or you have a YouTube channel.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we ran into a roadblock, and we're just like, we killed it. We had been pretty deep into working on it too.
Yeah.
It was actually an X-Men video, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
it was or not an X-Men video. We were going to do something about Bohemian Rhapsody actually, and it was one of my videos, and we killed it. And it was partially my choice
bummer.
because of that.
You know, and that kind of stuff comes up, but regardless, you guys broke a bunch of news. You know, when you do a video like that, you know, you guys do such a great job. This was the longest one I think that you've done in a while, right? I mean, we're looking
This
part
is the
one was like
longest
40 some
retrospective we've
minutes.
ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's even longer than the Conan one, which was our longest one before this, I believe.
Wow.
If it's not the Conan one, it was the Prime. It was the breakdown of the Prime Deception. It was one of those two from Star Trek.
It's amazing.
Trying to
Yeah,
remember
you
which
broke
one
up
was
into 4
longer.
parts. I'm surprised you guys don't like assemble them all and put them into like a documentary form.
Well, we're going to. Initially, it was meant to be just one video, and I said to Andre, I said, "This thing is going to be huge." I said, and the same thing happened to the Conan video. He initially was going to do the whole thing in one chunk, and I'm like, "You're doing a disservice to the second film in Red Sonja and the remake. You know that, right?" I'm like, "You really should split this up." And I'm like, "We're already 30 or 20 some minutes into the first project, you know, when we first started." And I'm like, I don't think anybody's going to watch it if it's that long either. Like,
Right.
because a lot of times that's the other problem you have is people see the length of something like that and they think it's a podcast and not a video.
Right. Yeah, and you know, honestly though, you mean you know, look at what Echo Base did with their Star Wars
Right.
documentary and stuff like that. I think you guys, you know, once you're done with this massive project that you just completed, which was wonderful, I think packaging it as a documentary, I'm sure you'd have some
There's a version we're thinking about putting together. Yeah, there's a few things that might have to be trimmed for redundancy, but
yeah.
yeah, it'll probably when it's all said and done, yeah, it'd probably be a long 2.5 hour, 3 hour documentary about the entire Masters of the Universe franchise, basically.
Yeah, but you guys are just killing it. I just love the fact that I get to hang out with you so often. I mean, you know, the
Well, and this
depth
one
of
specifically was my baby more so because like Andre doesn't like the film all that much. So like so for me, it was me doing a lot of the digging on it, and then you know, I mean, he did the bulk of the writing, don't get me wrong, but like he said while we were watching it, I single-handedly added no less than 10 or 15 minutes to the video
wow.
after the fact because there was so much stuff, and there was more stuff we didn't get to that
That's
we
just
could have.
amazing. The depth of that stuff, but with you and you know, you've been bringing some of the knowledge around Canon out there to everybody too, right?
Well,
I
they're an
mean,
interesting group. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's two great documentaries I can't recommend enough called The Go-Go Boys and Electric Boogaloo. Both came out around the same time. Both cover the rise and fall of Canon, and specifically around Golan and Golan and Globus, the two individuals, the two cousins who owned the company and how they ran things and how they kind of got involved with a guy who was tied to the mob and all this other stuff. It's a crazy story about basically how these guys just rolled through a decade of movies and you know when we talk about cocaine and capitalism, Canon Films is at the top of that list. Although they didn't make much money, that was the problem.
And again, based on how they were able to do their finances, kind of what put them in that chokehold at the end.
Well, what happened was is yeah, they were buying too many theaters. They went and bought EMI. And then they ended up getting in with Peretti, who has ties with the mob. And instead of him, they thought he was going to save the company, and instead he ended up basically, raiding it and leveraging it out. And then they were facing an $80 million loan payment, and I believe it was 88 or 89, somewhere in there, 87, somewhere in that point. Actually, I think it was 87 because Warner got distribution, I think, on Mo2 outside of the US, and they do own the movie now. So what basically happened is Warner Brothers bailed their ass out once. They gave them $80 million, and instead of paying back the loans, they went and sunk it back into more productions and in their pockets.
That's
Is what
just dumb.
happened. And then they booted out Golan, and you know, he went and tried to do a few things. He had the Captain America movie, which was one of the revelations we put in our video. Was Andre and I had put together that basically the script for Motu 2 was refurbished for Captain America.
Wow. I have to tell you though, you guys do such great work, and I appreciate the depth, and I want you to do more. So I know it takes a lot of time, but we everybody here, I guarantee you, appreciates it, whether or not
Well,
they
thank you.
think they're going to be interested in like a particular subject. Like, if you weren't a huge He-Man fan or whatever, you're still going to learn a whole lot, because all of these things are tied together. All these productions, the studios, the players are all tied together, and they make up the history of Hollywood for better or worse. So I
Well,
think
there's
you guys do a
definitely
great
like a
job.
Spider-Man video that we'll probably end up making out of
Yeah.
this stuff.
And the Captain
Um,
America one probably, but
well, yeah, we might do a Captain America one. If not, most of the
Mm,
info is already in this, but
yeah.
yeah, we might do a separate one just on that. We've been talking about doing a Canon, our
Oh,
own
that
Canon one.
that would be so good, man.
The other documentaries that are out there are so darn good, though. That's the only
You're
problem.
like can't compete, but
Really, no, but
but you can come at it with fresh eyes again, and also
more
because
of the financial
yeah,
standpoint, maybe.
yeah.
But like,
Well,
much like the Karate Kid one, I put a lot of love and effort into that one. Hopefully people get to see this one though, because that one still I don't think is broken 30,000
well,
views,
and
which yeah.
that's not good. But the Andre's narration this time was just spot on, and I know that there's a lot of audio adjustment that's done there, but he does a great job. And man, I was digging it. I really was. But let me get some of these super chats. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
It will
Speaking of
make.
Andre, he should be here shortly, but
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Let's grab
fantastic.
some super chats.
Yeah,
Yes, Sadie.
absolutely. Hi, Sadie. We got Brightest Day, who is celebrating a belated birthday. I guess his birthday was yesterday. I didn't know, so happy birthday to you, my buddy. Appreciate you, Zach, in so many ways. He says, I should patent my statement. Less preachy, more free speechy. That's right. That's what Gilded is. That's why I am moving everything that direction. I still be obviously on Twitter and Minds and Getter, but I'm going to use the communication platform of Gilded to interact more with all of you. So if you join Gilded, you'll have a better access to all of us. So thank you for that, Brightest Day. We'll take a look real quickly at what we have as far as super stickers. We had Trav 101 with a £1.49 super sticker of a box of popcorn. Thank you for that, my friend. And of course, not to be left out, our good friend Darius Munchausen drops a super sticker for $1.49, and that is a box of popcorn. Thank you for that. And of course, we also had a couple of member chats come in, and I want to start with Trav 101. He's been a member for a couple of months. Thank you for 3 months total, I guess. Says, given the wait, will Avatar 2 inevitably disappoint? I tell you what, I'm going to come back to that because I think I want to have Tom weigh in, and maybe Andre, if Andre gets here at some point soon. Blue-Eyed Roof Korean the Based has been here for a long time. Thank you for all 17 months of your support, my friend. He says, Midnight's Edge on YouTube has great documentaries, 100%, my friend. And I think I couldn't agree more. And I really do appreciate what they bring to the table. So do be sure, if you missed the premiere or you only caught part of it because you rushed over here at the very end, do backtrack through your day if you can, and check out the video, because it was very well done. And I'm so very I'm always enthralled with what they do. So while Sadie is getting a much needed relief break, we will definitely dive into some more things. Oh wow! I guess Tom says, confuse yourself more and see Sword and the Sorcerer. It's basically He-Man and Conan put together. Well, there you go. A lot of people talk about wanting to see something like that going forward. So I think that. I think that makes a lot of sense. I like the idea of like more sword and sorcery films, less less of the influence of, let's say, what Amazon's going to do to Lord of the Rings, and more like, let's go back and look at, sword and sorcerer. Let's go back and look at oh wow, it was in my head, like making a game like Ultima, kind of a concept, and stealing from that. There's a lot you can steal from, right? You could even develop certain parts of Skyrim, or any of the, associated games from Bethesda, I think, but that's just me. Blue-Eyed Roof Korean the Base for $5 says, and thank you for that, my friend, says, all you creators and channels should make pinned links and playlists to your content. You all get new viewers who may not know the depth of catalogs. I agree with you. I try to do my very best. Playlists are really hard to manage now. I know that sounds weird, but it's tough because so many different categories run over each other. So I mean, unless you're using absolutely the most general stuff, like let's say TV or film or, or in theme parks or whatever, some general categories, I think you'd be hard pressed to really line up your content. But no, you're 100% right. And you know what, one of the best at it, to be honest with you, somebody who still does it just granularly, is our buddy Wes Moody of Wes Moody Webcast. He actually has a whole playlist called collabs, so everybody and every stream that he's ever collaborated on, he has a link to that person, so that if you click on that and you end up watching that video on that person's channel, and it gives you an opportunity to subscribe if you've never seen that person before. So Wes is amazing. And you're right though. I will work on reformatting that. I have a long drive ahead of me tomorrow. So while I'm during my little passenger stints, I will on the rolling mobile studio, we'll call it. I will. I'll try to look at managing the playlist. That's not a half bad idea. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. So, and it looks like we've got Tom back here. Tom, somebody brought something up real quick, and I thought I would go over it. It was from one of the member chats. Travel 101 mentioned, given the weight, will Avatar 2 inevitably disappoint?
I don't know. It's a hard
one.
Because I mean, I don't think Avatar still has the appeal it used to. They waited way too long to do the sequel. But I don't like to count Cameron out, because you never know what he'll come up with.
Right.
And as soon as because I was one of those people who didn't think Titanic was going to do that well.
Yeah, we already know the end of this story.
Yeah.
Oh, let me say this.
Well, and that was because they pushed Titanic back, and then they changed the campaign from making it look like more of a historical biopic type action disaster film to a love story. And yeah, I'm like, at that point, I'm like, they just screwed this movie's chances. And then I was wrong about that.
Girls liked it.
That's my point. Yeah, that's what saved it. Yeah.
All right. And my thoughts on it are, you can never count out James.
Yeah, no, I learned my lesson there.
Yeah, I mean, not because of the Titanic thing, but because he makes things work.
And I didn't think Avatar was going to be that big either.
I'm like thinking, okay, well, this looks pretty cool. I mean, like, really tall blue alien thing. Kind of already know, what the plot is going to be. The ridiculousness of the thing called unobtainium. The
thing feels like something that was written by a teenager.
Yeah, the guy trying to
earn writing class. Yeah,
the guy trying to earn to get his legs back, and then he becomes an avatar.
I get it. Like, I did not. I mean, it's watchable. I don't think the original Avatar is anything that great, unfortunately. But that's what Cameron does. Like, he reminds me of Martin Scorsese. Like, Scorsese will make movies that you never think you'd watch, but once you start watching a movie, you're sucked in. Cameron's good at that, no matter what it is. Even some of his worst films. I mean, but the thing is here is, like, outside of him coming up with some kind of gimmick or good reason to get butts back in the seats, I think he's waited too long. This is not like Terminator 2. Terminator 2 was a little different. You had almost a decade between those, but that was because there was a buildup. Terminator became this legendary cult film in the process. People forget it wasn't this huge hit when it came out, the original film.
Yeah.
And the second film also surprised people. They didn't expect it to do that well. I mean, it's just one of those things. And I don't want to underestimate Cameron, but yeah, we'll see on this one.
We'll see.
We got a few months to find out.
Yeah, Clobby, hey, what's up, Mike? Good to see
you.
He says, much like Avatar 1, I'm not going to add the D, but I appreciate it. The second film will be abysmal, and yet it will still probably do very well in box orifices. He's doing this on purpose. Good job, Mike. Avatar 1.
It might. It depends on what I'm trying to remember what else is coming out at that time. Everything's trying to avoid it. And I'm like, why?
Yeah. yeah, everything moved. Well, this is going to be underwatery. So,
What's he gonna do? Fucking dump buckets of water on people in the theaters?
dude, let me tell you, first things first, if you talk to any actor that's ever worked with Cameron on anything having to do with the water tank, run.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. I did talk to somebody who actually has some insight. They can't tell me what the gimmick is. They said he's got something up his sleeve. I said, "What is it? Glass 3D? Glass free 3D?" And they're like, "Nope, but I can't tell you." And I'm like, "Well, that doesn't help." It's like, and then that image comes out, and that image didn't sell me on anything. In fact, it looks like CGI from the mid 2000s. I mean, I'm not sure what his gimmick is going to be, but I guess
We'll have to see. Like I said, I mean, I don't have a lot of expectations. I think that's the way to come at it, is I don't have high expectations either way. So if like somebody said in the chat, I think it was Marby Dog, if you have no expectations, you can't be disappointed.
Well, and 40X already does a lot of the gimmicks that I could think he could come up with, right? So it's not like he'd be bringing anything new to the table. People are throwing it in the chat like smell-o-vision. And yeah, like dumping, they wouldn't dump buckets of water on you, but anybody who's been to a 40X theater, I haven't, but Mikey explained it to me and he showed me some videos, Mexican Iron Man, that is. And he told me, like you get in there and there's like the mist and the smoke and they shoot out flavors of smells and stuff like that at you and stuff like that. And so that experience is already out there. He's like, when it was raining in the movie, you could feel like mist and rain falling on you and stuff like that. What else could he do that's not? I mean, is he going to get everybody to go to a 40X theater? Because I don't even think there is one within like 2-3 hours of mine.
There's more of them popping up. There's a lot of post conversions being done. I mean, a lot of downtime afforded some of these theaters to do some upgrades and some cleaning they desperately needed and things like that. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, you're right. James Cameron directed Aquaman in Entourage, 100%. Yeah, but see, they were shooting it dry for wet in Entourage. I have a lot of useless Entourage knowledge. There's no doubt about it. There's a reason.
I couldn't believe when we actually got a real Aquaman movie, because that's why they used Aquaman in Entourage, because
they didn't
think they would ever make an Aquaman movie. That's why.
Yeah, but smell-o-vision, sure. I mean, it's not that hard to do. A diffuser.
They're already doing that at 40X. That was my point.
Yeah. Well, and Disney's been doing it since the 70s. So, or
like
before
he was saying, like when Spider-Man was in the forest or whatever, you could smell like pine and all that kind of stuff. And yeah,
I mean, and Disney's been doing that in all their immersive presentations forever. But it is.
And ladies don't like it when you go dry for wet.
Oh no! That's that's a term.
I know what it is.
A lot of people don't know what it is. It's when it's like it's basically they're going to put the water in later. They add the water in. It's all CGI filters and stuff, active filters.
It's all right. They recast him in the sequel anyway, Clobby.
Yeah, that's true. Vinny Chase was terrible Aquaman. Yeah,
Vinny Chase.
He didn't like the suit. But man, gosh,
Medellin.
We're gonna have Medellin was a terrible film. Holy cow!
It could have been better though.
We absolutely have to do an Entourage special, Tom.
I love Entourage.
There's so many of us, I think, and it's just crazy. First VR major release. You can already do a lot of like really cool.
What's the point? You can watch that at home if you had VR. Yeah, you'd have to have they would right now would be the worst time, because you'd actually have to have a system set up where you have the VR headsets. And you'd have to have somebody come in there and clean those sons of bitches in between every fucking showing. And you're going to have people destroying them. And it's going to be a nightmare tech-wise. Yeah. 3 peoples aren't going to work in a showing. So you have to stop the fucking movie. And yeah, it just doesn't work good.
But will the snozberries taste like snozberries?
They do. They taste like snozberries.
And that's the other thing, man. It's for me. If I can go to a theater and watch a film, I mean, just a basic film, like, the 96-minute typical popcorn thing, I don't need to sit down and have a nice meal. If I'm going to go to an experience and stuff like that, I prefer like a dinner theater. Well, I mean, not a, dinner theater, but a theater.
But that's not the kind of movie I'd want to go see an Avatar movie, right?
I don't know. I mean, again, I'm like,
Dinner
okay,
theater, I think a little bit more, casual, but yet
um, I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm maybe it's because I'm getting older. It's like I just want to have a steak, maybe some shrimp, some
no, I
broccoli,
hear you, but like that'd be
glass of
something like to
wine.
go see Ghostbusters Afterlife, or
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean, something like that. But like if you're going to see something like a comic book movie or Avatar, you want to be in the movie. Like I would definitely go see something like that in a 40x experience. But like again, I'm curious what his gimmick is going to be. But we definitely talked about this probably a heck of a lot longer than you had planned on, Culture.
Yeah. Oh no, I just was bringing it up because that was the best use of a member chat ever. So well
Absolutely,
done.
you got your member chats worth there, Trav.
Wow. Well, look, I brought this up first of all because there's a cool new person in the channel. At least they're using a cool name in Avatar, Dick Sargent York. Put their picture was
Wait a
fascinating. So
minute, Dick Sargent,
yeah, Dick York.
Dick York, Sergeant York.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an old
So
Wayne's World joke, kids.
so the reason that I loved it is, and I thought it was perfect timing, is I brought up this story and I was doing it in plain view. But this is interesting to me. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a pretty good actor. I mean, he's pretty, and he's not a bad looking kid, and he exercises and takes care of himself, and he doesn't pop off on media, at least not anything terribly. He's going to be Johnny Carson. Do you see that?
That's not a bad choice,
Yeah.
especially if you're doing a young Johnny.
Yeah.
That's not a horrible. I can see it. I can actually see it, and that's a good. I'm glad they made it black and white. That helps. But
Well, it sells it though, right?
he's
It
got
sells it.
that charm.
Yeah.
Like that's what Johnny had, was that
Yeah.
boy next door,
Midwestern
gee
Midwestern charm.
golly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, this is something that's interesting that unfortunately the networks went away with a long time ago. All of the late night hosts, anybody that they were putting up there, like Carson and anybody, they all came out of the Midwest because they had very little accent that was discernible. They when they spoke, everybody could understand what they were saying, and they had very broad appeal. This is kind of interesting, I think.
Just
So.
don't get Josh Gad to play Ed McMahon,
No, no.
please.
We no, gosh, no. Josh Gad should not be anywhere near that role.
Well,
You need Jack Black to play.
I was thinking that actually,
Yeah.
and I'm like, maybe.
I would, if I were Jack Black, I would
You know
jump
who
all
actually
over
might
that.
be better than Jack Black though is what's his face from Fanboys, Dan Fogler.
Oh wow, you think?
I think he'd be better because he's not as maniacal as Jack, and you need that kind of kind of guy.
Yeah, and this compared to
Fuck
Harry
yes.
Potter or Weird Al.
Hell, Joseph Gordon-Levitt would have been better for Weird Al.
Yeah, but I think that this kid doesn't get the kind of love that he deserves. I mean, he's been acting forever. I mean, he was a kid actor.
He's a kid, he just loves to do you can tell he just loves to do this
Whatever.
stuff. He's always doing little projects on the side.
Yeah,
And good for him. Good for him. I think that and Jay Roach is involved in this. It looks like
David Milch. Yeah, David Milch.
Generally pretty good.
Yeah, so he's going to be doing it. It's going to be directed by Jay Roach, written by David Milch. So it's going to be well written.
Deadwood.
Current title project's King of Late Night. And and yeah, this has potential, I think.
One of my favorite HBO movies is The Late Shift. If they do it as good as that, then we're in for a treat. I think the movie I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, way back HBO
about the struggle with NBC and Letterman walking, and
and the Letterman deal. Yeah,
they had Rich Little playing
so good
Johnny Carson.
Yeah. Well, Rich Little could play anybody. I mean,
he actually looked like Johnny. That helped.
Well, it didn't hurt, but I mean, you know what I mean? Is he literally?
Yeah, but Rich Little was Rich Little, exactly. Yeah,
it's just incredible. You don't have a lot of those guys, but I'm looking forward to this. I hope it works. To be honest with you, doesn't look like they've cast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder how Milch was doing. It said he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I remember that. because that was why they kind of rushed out that Deadwood movie.
Wow. Anyway, I just thought you'd like that news. I thought it
Oh
was pretty
yeah,
cool.
I'm actually kind of excited for this. That because that is that is one of my favorite HBO films. So
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people didn't notice all the struggles that was happening with Letterman, and then the network change, and then everything that went along with that, and then it all amounted to nothing. You ended up with eventually him taking over for a period of time, and then losing ground as he was going to. I looked at the Leno thing was weird. I mean, the period of time with Leno was just weird. Um, who is it that played Leno? He did a good job.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he's been in a lot of cop dramas and other things.
He did a great job
Oh,
of
he was
being.
great, yeah,
Yeah.
and so was the guy playing Letterman too, and he's also been in a great character actor too, and I can't think of their names. Klobby knows the movie I'm talking about too, though. And yeah, 6. I want to give Daniel the benefit of the doubt, but I read that story. I think you sent it to me. That story about how he got the job, and I'm just like, that's weird. Just because
Yeah.
he sang the Major General song to whoever it was at some birthday party, like weird. I was like, oh, he gets it. It's like, yeah, but does he look and sound like you, Al? I don't give a shit if the actor is as smart as you. I give a shit if they can look and sound like you. The story isn't theirs, it's yours. So, I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but we'll see.
Yeah. Karnak the
Yeah,
Magnificent. God, that one never got old.
that was a
Never
great
got
bit.
old. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, the top 10 with
Thank you,
oh yeah,
Claudia. I knew he would know.
yeah. The top 10 with Letterman was also those two elements were
I used
so
to have
well
one of those
crafted.
books of the collections of the top tens.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was from like 1982 to 89 or
I
something like
have
that.
several ridiculously heavy coffee table books with dumb crap like that. I mean,
Some of those were pretty darn good.
yeah, yeah. I forget the
Yeah, I
name of the
can't
guy.
remember either, but he's also another great character actor who's been in a lot of stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, Leno's car collection is crazy. Leno's funny outside of the Tonight Show format.
I
Yeah,
like him better outside of the Tonight Show, but I couldn't fucking stand
he
him.
was he was a
Couldn't stand
good.
him.
He wasn't as good an interviewer as Johnny was.
It was just a lot of
Um,
just the voice and the way he carried himself and it just seems so freaking disingenuous, right? That was my biggest problem with Leno is he was as bad as Ellen, when you can just kind of tell when people are full of shit. Like George Carlin always says, it only takes you a few seconds to figure out if somebody's a dumb shit or they're full of shit. maybe this guy's a dumb shit. Nah, he's full of shit.
let's have you read this one. That's why I popped it up there. So
The answer is 10-4. Question: what are Laverne and Shirley's IQs? I don't know, but I bet you Penny Marshall's very smart.
yeah, oh man, yeah, she was. God,
And
man.
I don't know how smart what's her face was, but
Yeah, I think we lost both of those actresses. We lost Shirley, well, a couple decades ago to cancer, if I'm not wrong. I
I
think.
think so.
And then we recently, in the last
Penny, it's been a few
eight
years, hasn't
eight
it?
years now, 8 or 9 years now that we lost Penny. And I have to tell you, a
She had
lot
some
of
health
people.
issues, didn't she?
Oh yeah. A lot of people point at, well, yeah, and she did never quit smoking. She smoked like a
Well, yeah.
billion cigarettes. She was a
I loved
chin.
Penny though. She was hilarious.
Yeah, and gosh, she was always herself. I mean, but she think about what she did in Hollywood. See, they don't like to
No, they never
recognize
give her and Penelope Spheris or like people forget that
Spheris.
Penny Marshall directed Big. People
Yeah,
forget that.
yeah, yeah. God, she was so good. She had a string of really great heartfelt films. I mean, she knew what she was doing. It didn't hurt that Gary was, out there too. Man,
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
he's a
know.
great director and shit too.
Oh God, yeah, and producer and just dude could spot anything, a script, talent, whatever, just amazing. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Wasn't one of their last things they did together?
yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was.
It was some kids movie and they were in it together. I can't remember what it was now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, Gary Marshall was so good, and when he played himself, he was even funnier.
That voice, I tell you, Gary had a
Oh, Dude, he was in that great Robert Downey Jr. Was in it too, and so was Princess
Oh,
Leia. Soap Dish. Soap
yes.
Dish.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
you know how long it's been since I've seen that?
That film was amazing. Very funny,
I
right?
remember
I
enjoying
mean,
it more than I thought I was going to. Yeah, because it was like I remember I thought because it came out around the same time as Punchline, if I remember right.
and both of them had
And Punchline, I was like, I
Sally in
thought
'em.
that was the one I was going to like and ended up hating. And I
Yeah,
thought I was going to hate Soap Dish and ended up
and you loved
loving.
it. Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
Sally was in both of them. And that's the thing, right?
Yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
like a year or two apart, but yeah, they're all.
Yeah, it was so good. Soap Dish
Now
is
we're reminiscing on about movies are like people are like, huh? Like
oh,
forgotten
sorry,
Tom
yeah.
Hanks movies and shit.
Yeah,
Um,
we're
but I
way
do
out
have
of
some news. Did you
oh.
did you watch that trailer that I sent you? The Ghostbusters video game?
Oh, somebody talked about it in the chat. I didn't get a chance to watch it. No, I haven't seen it. Is it up someplace I can grab
Yeah,
it?
it's a sequel to
Um,
the movie. It's
um,
happening, kids. We get to bust with our friends, and you actually get to play as a ghost.
Ghostbusters game trailer.
You want me to grab it? I can grab
Yeah,
it.
if you already have access to it, that'd be
Yeah,
be
I just
great.
sent it to you earlier.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You apologize. I gotta wait for the stupid. You want me to show it?
Yeah, whip it out. Why not? What's gonna happen?
All right, you asked for it. It's not very big.
That's not very big. Oh. All right, I'm gonna make it big. You ready? You're running it already.
Oops, sorry.
Okay. Stop. Wait. Okay. Boom.
Yeah, we saved the world a few times.
Oh,
But between that,
good.
we provided a needed service to the masses.
Looks good.
That's where you come in. We're passing the torch, or better yet, passing the particle thrower, giving you the tools.
Ooh.
Now let's see if you have the talent.
You know this is going to be
Keep your head up.
the sequel.
Charge.
This is what we said the sequel needed to be.
Yeah, that's
We're a
amazing.
team working together to watch each other's back.
I can't wait to play this shit.
Now, I know you're still a ghost-busting trainee, but there's much more here than meets the eye. Take a look at this.
Oh, and he's
Owen's
You
your
have
guy.
a chance to see firsthand what exists on the other side.
And you get to play as a
Catching
ghost.
ghosts is only the half of it.
I want to do this so bad.
So you want to play as a ghost?
All right. Be Slimer.
Let's see you try to take on my team.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Where's it going to be? Where's it going to be?
Probably PS5,
Oh,
maybe PC.
those graphics were really rudimentary. If that
Then
they
again,
were,
Sony's been real good at multi-platforming. They might do a deal with
oh man.
the last
Oh.
Ghostbuster game was on both.
Oh, now you
Damn
can
right,
get-
D-Bud Martin. I sure
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I was gonna say now. Yeah, D-Bud got there before me. Now you have a reason to get you get on
You
that.
damn right.
Yeah. Oh man,
This looks like hopefully this is the game I've been waiting for, because that's what I've been saying. I just want a game where I can hang out with my friends and bust ghosts. How is that so much to ask?
It isn't. And you know what? You could make it an open world eventually, or you could do a multiplayer. Could you imagine an MMORPG based on Ghostbusters? I could make that happen. I could write it. Come and find me, SIE. I can do this. I can do this. For me, it's Steam or bust. Yeah, look,
it'll probably be on PC and Steam, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, I have my controller plugged into the PC, ready to go. Ready. You know, for whatever reason, as much as I love the PS5 and I do utilize it quite a bit, I have never done any streaming with it here on this. But I love gaming on PCs. They're just so much more powerful. They really are. So, but sometimes you can only play something on PS5. Sometimes you just want to sit back and look on your couch and look at your 70-inch and play with it. It is what it is.
You play with your 70-inch.
Well, no, you want the highest quality screen, graphics and all that.
He plays with a 70-inch.
I have to finish up the last Ghostbusters game. That's a long time ago, Xenomorph.
It was all right. The gameplay was a bit wonky in some spots. The story was all right, but you can totally tell Bill Murray's phoning it in.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's the biggest issue with that game is just Bill Murray reading his lines is bad.
Blue-eyed Roof Korean says, "Take my money."
know, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Ninja Turtles took my money today. My God.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. You were like, "There goes Christmas."
Yep.
I saw
Well,
that.
then they make you because this is stupid because you go in the thing and you have two of them in the thing and it says cannot exceed anything or equal to 2. So I'm like, does that mean I can't get 2 or what? So I had to go back and order another set to get another set. So I was like, God damn it. Anyway, that's first world problems.
Well,
I got to be able to open them,
Are you gonna play with the toys, Tom?
I'm gonna start a show eventually called Tom's Toy Box. Yes.
Oh man, I really think we could do great
You should
stop
see
motion.
my toy room.
We should do stop motion together. That would be fun.
The only problem with that is getting figures to stay
anchored. I can armature them. I can figure out something for each of them. If they don't have foot pegs, we can make shoes or I can 3D print shoes with magnet bases and stuff.
And thank you, Six. She just sent me this info. The game will be released on PS5, Xbox Series S and X, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Yeah,
and it's an Epic Games Store exclusive in Q4 of 2022, and it will be completely cross-platformed.
Yeah, Tom, you, me, Andre, and what, Mike?
We'll probably. I'm sure Script will get in on that.
I wanna be the purple hair side shave SJW.
I don't think that's our character in this one.
Oh.
Let's hope not. I mean, maybe you can design your own characters. That'd be cool.
It would also be cool. Then it's a diverse game. It can be whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, because Script Doctor's been playing the original game. That's about the only thing he's been able to do on his channel lately.
That's weird because I know he's crazy busy.
So. Well, yeah, he's been working his butt off. So
I'm stoked. Culture's Harry House and Studios. Yeah. No, I actually have a name for the production company, but we'll get into that one day when we're closer to it being a reality. So, but no, I want to do some puppet stuff. I think stop motion would be fun. It's not that hard to do that. I really 4ME Ghostbusters. Right. I can't wait, dude. I will play that.
The biggest thing with stop motion is just that it's time consuming. That's pretty much.
I'm really stoked. Wow. Thanks to everybody. Will they be off the game for the Switch? Can't get a PS5. The brand.
Did it say Switch? No, it will not be on Switch. Sorry. They might do a Switch version eventually, though. They did do a Wii version of the other Ghostbuster game.
Yeah. Misha, it's a Samsung. So. Yeah. Script. That's right. Script Doctor. Let's see. Oh, we got a super chat from Mr. Mike. What's up, Mexican Iron Man for $4.99? After tax season, me and Tom are playing this new Ghostbusters game on our PS5s. Me gaming. Was that close to what he would sound like?
That's pretty close. I thought that was Mike.
Okay. All right.
After tax season, me and Tom are playing this new game on PS5. Me gaming.
That's right.
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
He must have seen the trailer.
I have to tell you, I couldn't be more stoked. I love gaming. Everybody knows this. That's why I have a Twitch channel that I've almost not quite abandoned. I'm gonna get back there, guys. I promise. But it's just fun. It's just fun to watch people play games that you love, and it's fun to play games that you love. And I'm afraid that I would be watching that, just like everybody's recently been addicted to Elden Ring, which I can see the appeal of. I just I didn't have time for that this month, but I think that game's going to steal all. Did you want to talk about this Disney nonsense or no?
Which Disney nonsense?
We're gonna not go to work
Did
day.
anybody walk out or not? I haven't heard anything yet.
Some, but it was more of like, to be honest with you, this is the problem with, you know, this kind of activism. It's more like a photo op kind of activism. It's not real. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it, but I mean, the Deadline article kind of doesn't really do it the kind of service that, you know, it deserves, because believe it or not, this was not widely supported, right? I mean, they did, you know, get the full participation from all of the outwardly visible portions of the company. So they, you know, they took to the streets, right? Well,
I haven't
the
seen any video or anything of it yet.
yeah, there's not a lot out there. The planned full day walkout at Disney today over the company's response it has seen an outpouring of support from, you know, the LGBTQ plus community, of course, but it really didn't do much. Again, it was all this virtue signaling stuff, right? With the, you know, let's post a wall of text. ESPN did the same thing. Hulu did the same thing. You know, all of that, whatever. But then, I mean, all of it was kind of, you know, what do you call it? Photo op. There it is. There's one right there. That's a photo op. Because that's not the entire animation building. It's just a photo op.
Oh yeah, a bunch of them went to Skydance. Oops.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, look, we have these pre-prepared things we can send out.
Wow, the virtue signal is hard.
There are no protesters outside of Disney World's gates in Orlando, nor at Disney's New York City headquarters. No word on what's happening at Disneyland, but as far as I was led to believe, nothing. I don't, again, never bend the knee.
What's funny is it's the most privileged motherfuckers doing this shit. That's what I love.
Yeah. It's just weird.
Excuse my French.
It's just weird. I get nuts and crazy and frustrated with this, because I'm like, if you're gonna protest, I'm all about it. Think that's great. If it's not substantive, and if it's flash and dash, and if it's just for a photo op, what was the point? One day walkout. It hasn't affected any of their businesses. Much of the staff for Disney that isn't required to be on set or on production in production locations, they've been working from home anyway. For the most part, Disney's going to be figuring out whether or not they need some of the real estate that they have. The Burbank facilities may actually be able to contract. They're going to be moving Imagineering fully over to Florida, which is one of the reasons why there's a lot of employees that otherwise wouldn't care are even involved in the conversation, because they don't want to move. So they're thinking this is a way to get out of moving from California to Florida. But they're going to end up relocating Imagineering as a whole within the next 2 years, and basically taking the building where it's based and, you know, either leasing it out or doing something differently with it. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, sorry. But no, you're not wrong. Having as many people as they've had go to Skydance, and having the story like this one. I don't know if you saw this, Tom, but there's been some coverage on it. Black and White Sports and Black and White Network did some coverage.
I didn't hear about this, I don't think. What's this about?
Yeah, they call their fellow employees bigots. Conservatives at Disney issue an open statement detailing hostile work environment.
Well, maybe things are about to pop off, because you know that Civil War we keep talking about. I keep saying it's more than just in Lucasfilm; it's throughout the entire company. Yeah, there's a bunch of people who are sick and tired of not being able to express their feelings.
And again, they get called stuff all the time, and this is not new. Gina Carano talked about it a year ago, almost to the day a year ago that she was interviewed on Daily Wire. I think it was like March 21st.
Let's just say I've had people, I can't even say where they work because they don't want to be doxxed, but
right.
And that people could find out. But let's just say that people close enough to the company or within the company in some places and may have been part of these other companies for more than almost 20 years at this point, or 10 years at this point, let's say, because I don't want to give too many specifics. They are saying these kind of things. They're saying that they're afraid to speak up. They're afraid to lose their jobs if they do say anything, or they even try to support anybody like Gina Carano, they're out the door. But yet these guys can do this shit.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, their open letter basically is this: over the last few weeks, we've watched as our leadership has expressed their condemnation of laws and policies we support. Wow, why am I keep getting all these pop-ups? Anyway, we've watched as our colleagues convinced that no one in the company could possibly disagree with them, grow increasingly aggressive in their demands. They insist that the Walt Disney Company take a strong stance on not only this issue, but other legislation, and openly advocate for the punishment of employees who disagree with them. Left-leaning cast members are free to promote their agenda and organize on company time using company resources. They call their fellow employees bigots and pressure the Walt Disney Company to use corporate influence to further their left-wing legislative
Exactly
goals.
what we've been accusing them of for the last few years.
Yeah. So anyway,
Exactly the kind of shit I was hearing.
Yeah, they cited Hamilton and The Mandalorian as unifying content. They argue that Disney is more valuable as a business and cultural institution when audiences from across the political spectrum feel free to enjoy entertainment it produces. So, and again, I mean,
AKA, don't make it political, make it apolitical.
Yeah, we've talked about this for a while, and my friends, that may work for some of the entities within the Disney company, they feel this way, and they're not alone. Once again,
Yeah, you know people in there too.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable when this tiny little sliver of a company is allowed to exert this much pressure across the board. It does create a hostile work environment because the company just allows it to happen. And they're not the only one. I mean, obviously, I think Mike mentioned here, Paramount with Trek and everything else. I mean, it's this constant thing. And so you have, the majority of the people in the company who are not down with this stuff, and they are uncomfortable with the latitude that's given to people who are allowed to,
Oh yeah, Star Trek is directly flat out making it well known that if you're not of a certain political view, then you shouldn't be watching the show.
Yeah.
Which is sad because, I mean, I don't usually get into my politics, and I usually was more of a centrist, more left-leaning growing up. In the last few years, I don't even know where I belong anymore.
Yeah. I've been lost for a bit, dude. I mean, we've had this conversation. I don't really do politics on my channel, but I do say that, the entertainment industry across the board is having these issues.
And well, this is why, and that's the only reason I brought it up, is because it's been drug into my fucking entertainment.
Well, it's been drug into people's jobs, man.
Well, it has. This is true, and I'm not even going to get into that business because I know it's not what we're here for. So,
but I like you said, for those of you who are just joining us or you joined us late, at the beginning of the stream, I focused on the admiration that I have for what Midnight's Edge has been able to do with their retrospectives. They just released part 4 of the He-Man retrospective. The movie that killed the franchise was the title. You should check it out. It was well done today, and the premiere was well received. There were several hundred people in there watching. If you haven't seen it, do. We might revisit some of that here in just a second. But Tommy, what do you got for me, my friend?
Well, the only other story I really got today outside of the Ghostbuster news and Christina Ricci not playing Wednesday is Morbius, I guess, had a screening. And a critic gave it a bad review, but they didn't say why they didn't like it. And then we just had this drop where reportedly a character has been cut from the movie. So for those who don't want any spoilers, don't stick around for 2 minutes. Come back.
Spoilers ahead. Wait, I have a button for that, Tom. Bear with me a moment.
I think they get it now.
I think that might go for like an hour.
I was gonna say, I think they get the hint.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so Morbius, a certain character has been reportedly cut from the movie. Spoilers. We're now just over a week away from the release of Morbius, and some details from early press screenings have found their way online. Click to find out more. You have been warned that spoilers follow. It doesn't hit theaters until April 1st, March 31st in the UK and Ireland, but early screenings took place in a few locations over the weekend, and some intriguing details have now found their way online. According to several sources, Adrian Toomes, aka Vulture, does not appear in the movie, despite featured heavily in the trailers. It doesn't say heavily here, but he's in a lot of those trailers. The villain does reportedly show up in the film's post-credits scenes. There are two, apparently, but the sequences are said to be completely different from those shots in the promo.
Whoa.
If this is accurate, Sony Pictures clearly made some significant changes to the movie pretty late in the game. Vulture was never going to be a huge part of the plot anyway, but his removal does suggest that the studio decided to make Morbius more standalone in nature by playing down its connection ties to the Spider-Man franchise. That does not bode well for the film. We've also been aware of a few reactions to the movie, and yeah, keep an eye out for more when the embargo lifts on March 30th. Because, one of the earlier reactions was not good, but that's a critic reaction. So, yeah, that's a bummer. I don't know what's going on there with that one.
That isn't good news.
Because I was kind of looking forward to that movie. I didn't really have high expectations for it.
Me too. I mean, I'm one of those people that was looking forward to Morbius. I think I've talked about it. I said that this is going to be intriguing for me. It's the kind of dark horror, version of the superhero genre that I really enjoy. And I'm bummed now. If that's really the case, I'm really bummed. Man, I really wish Gunn was in charge of all of this stuff. Really do.
Too late.
I know.
We'll get to see what he's going to do over at DC, hopefully.
Nothing good.
We'll see.
All right. Well, dang, I didn't even know that broke. Wow.
Yeah.
Well done. I played the alert too long. You didn't know what we were talking about. Spoilers for A New Hope ahead. No, not quite. Gosh, yeah. I love that. I swiped that. I don't even know where I swiped that from, but I love it. It's fantastic. Didn't they change who the villain was a while back? Yeah, but Vulture was going to be in the film. Oh, quite a bit of it. I mean, if you saw, gosh, what were those? Those are teasers, Tom?
No, they just dropped one of the latter trailers here not too long ago. He was featured heavily in the trailer. Like in that one of those last trailers, he was in like most of the trailer.
Did you see the red?
Well, not most, but a good third of the trailer, I'd say.
The Red Band trailer, Boys Season 3 trailer, was dinged for inappropriate content over 20 million times. Wow.
Evidently, I should start watching this show.
The Boys? Ringworld? Really? Oh, if it's going to be modernized, I'm out. Oh, man, you guys, stop bringing me bad news. Yeah, 20 million times is a lot. Michael Keaton's Vulture? My boys. Anyway. Wow, we ran through all of our stuff super fast today.
Pretty much. I mean, we didn't really cover the Wednesday news, but that's pretty simple. Yeah, they're bringing back Christina Ricci for the Addams Family series from Tim Burton, and she's not playing Wednesday or Morticia, so who gives a shit?
Yeah. I mean, it would have made sense to bring her in for that purpose, but
I'm kind of depressed. Why are they doing this Wednesday show? It's already been a YouTube show or whatever that was pretty popular, and they're sending her to magic school. Do they not understand what the Addams Family is all about?
They don't get it.
Like, and we could have had a Tim Burton Addams Family going up against Rob Zombie's The Munsters. Do you know how cool that could have been? And now we've got this crappy Addams Family animated stuff, and we got this crappy Netflix series that is not going to have. They don't get it. I read the synopsis of the show. They don't understand what the Addams Family was really about.
Yeah, well, I liked Wednesday's character, and I thought they were great. The two films were great. It's a shame that we don't have Raul Julia with us anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean, and I love the people that got in the cast, but it's such wrong casting. Like Luis Guzman as fucking Gomez. No, he'd be better off as Fester. Why is he playing like oh my god.
Can I ask you a question?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan should be playing fucking Gomez for one.
That might work.
Are you kidding? Would that work? That would totally work.
No, I said that might work.
That would totally work.
The Monsters, right? The
And you know what? Honestly, even though I think he does the voice already in the animated movie, Oscar Isaacs wouldn't be a horrible choice either.
Oh God, yeah, he would be good with that.
But I watched 5 minutes of that animated shit and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's not the Addams Family.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I'll check it out one man show. The reason that Monsters show is still coming, right?
Oh, it's a movie. Yeah, the Rob Zombie. It's almost done. I think we're supposed to be getting a trailer soon.
Wow. Okay, that'll be interesting.
That's what I'm saying. These are going to be coming out at the same time, and we could have had like instead of them going like, why don't you just let Tim Burton make an Addams Family movie, like a new? I don't care about. You want to put what you see Wednesday go to college or whatever, then do fucking Addams Family Kids as a Saturday morning cartoon where you send the kids off to some college because you clearly don't get what the Addams Family is all about. It's the same reason they can't do Revenge of the Nerds anymore, right? Because the Addams Family are different. They do what they want to do, say what they want to say, live how they want to live, play how they want to play, dance how they want to dance, kick and they stomp a friend. They're the Addams Family. They don't get it. They're not in on the joke. That's the whole fucking point. They are completely out of this world, living in a modern civilized world. That's the joke, right? They are so oblivious to themselves and they don't give a fuck. That's the point. Why is there a school for these people? This makes no sense. This shouldn't be that way. It's kind of the same thing with the Munsters. They both work on the same dynamic.
Well, and Addams Family Values was exactly that, right?
Oh, and Addams Family Values is perfect movie.
Yeah, it's like it shows you just how different this entire family of things are from you, and that you again, you're right, they just don't grasp it. Let's grab these last few super chats and address them real quick, and we can be done for the day, and we can push people over to watch the He-Man Part 4 retrospective that you guys put together, the Masters of the Universe, the movie that ruined a franchise.
Actually, it didn't, but you'll find that out by watching.
No, he should. T Neil 89, aka dislikes puns, for $5 says, I used to work in the game industry. Even after using it consistently for nearly 5 years, VR still makes me dizzy and sick. I'm 32 now, and it makes me feel 76.
To Neil, that's just something that some people can't deal with. It's not, I mean, it is you, but I mean, it's not like you did anything wrong or there's anything like you're just a wussy or anything like that. Like 1 in 4 people can't even see polarized 3D.
Right.
And yeah, you get like motion sickness is easy to get in VR. And if you're somebody who's susceptible to that, it's even worse. So,
and it doesn't help that you still have, because of the proximity of the screen to your eyeballs, you have the honeycombing effect. And they really are trying to get away from that with OLEDs, so they don't have that.
That's kind of why I'm waiting to upgrade, because I have the PS4 model, and I'm just kind of I'm not going to buy a new one until they get a better system.
Yeah. The Vive right now is at the basement at my folks' house. I have the PS4 in the other room, and I'm going to be upgrading here to a Valve Index because it's a much higher and more comfortable version of the Vive. So. Anyway, thank you for that very much, T Neil. I get where you're coming from, and yeah, there's a lot of people can't do even 3D, and some people get sick. In fact, one of our channel members, Olivia and Imakara, she can't do too heavy, the heavy motion CGI stuff because it also does the same thing. A lot of people are like that. There are certain people can't handle it, and that don't be that kind of entertainment, right? Do better entertainment.
And HVP says he's buying Cruel Jaws. Don't spend too much on it, buddy. It's for free on YouTube. The movie's out of print, but
is it?
Yeah, it's Jaws 5. It's that rip-off movie that got sued by Universal.
Right. Interesting. Mexican
They actually use footage from Jaws and Jaws 2 in it.
Oh, well, there you go. I did not know that. A Mexican Iron Man for $4.99. Thanks, Mike. Says politically, Tom and Culture now belong with me. In I'm starting a new conservative rabbit chicken wing party. Well, that sounds good to me. I'm kind of hungry. Why did you do
Rabbit
that?
chickens have multiple wings.
They do. They do. Man, I had shrimp for lunch. I should have gone with something more robust.
You keep talking about shrimp.
I like shrimp.
You're making me want scrimps.
Oh yeah. Blue-eyed Roof Korean the base for $5 says, Tom, do you know anything about Robot Chicken? How they are able to use copyrighted characters to humiliate IP holders, plus tell edgy jokes with no fear? Well, it's
called Parody.
Parody and satire. Yeah.
They actually have they work pretty closely with a lot of people that are involved in the industry too, so that helps. Because as you'll notice, a lot of times they'll actually have people come and do the voices.
Oh,
and stuff.
no. We were getting ready to wind down, and look who shows up. It's the boss.
He had to put the kids to bed.
Yeah, I figured better late than never.
No, I appreciate you being here. We were very effusively positive about your part 4 retrospective.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, you did a wonderful job. I'm encouraging everybody in the audience to go and see it.
Yeah, well, Tom is the one who did, who made it really stand out with the editing and also with all the script input. I mean, it was truly a collaborative effort.
It was well done, and the narration was good as usual. And like I said, I really, I thought it was great, and I felt kind of guilty because I know you guys usually like to do a live stream right after you're done with that. So I was like, I could push this back, but you insisted I commence. But you did an incredible job. So
we have a live stream tomorrow, so I'll make up for it then.
There you go.
And also, there's After Dark later in a few hours, I believe. So plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about Canon films, and Tom says you guys are thinking about maybe diving into that as a documentary.
I mean, there's fertile ground for a documentary right there.
Yeah.
I mean, like all of the studio history, but a Gonzo studio like Canon, oh my god, like absolutely.
The thing is like there's been 2 great documentaries already done about the studio itself.
That's the issue. Because here's like the thing that whenever we do like a huge retrospective and stuff, we need to check that. Is ours going to be the best one? Can we really contribute something that others haven't done? And if there is something out there widely available that we can't do better than, then why do it?
Right.
But I think that with Canon, if we're able to come up with a different angle
or more individual titles, maybe.
Yeah, with like than be 2 excellent documentaries that are out there already, then I absolutely think there's something that we could do.
I think there's more fertile ground, like to go to specific titles, perhaps, and maybe do like a Canon collection of sorts, where we just kind of, because we've already talked about deep diving a bit into Spider-Man and Captain America a little bit more, maybe, and stuff like that. And there's other properties and stuff that they worked on that I'm sure we could probably do similar retrospectives on, but those will definitely be down the road because there's other stuff that we got to finish up the Conan retrospective and
next month. Next up is the Red Sonja retrospective.
Ninja Turtles. We got on the horizon eventually, which is sad because every time I think about it, the next thing I know, somebody else has got another video up on it. It's like, damn it.
Well, I think you guys coming from it from the financial side of things too. I would love to see that. Yeah. I don't know. Like you said, I think you guys did a great job. I think everybody should take the opportunity if they didn't see the premiere to go and check it out. We really ran out of news fast today, Andre. There wasn't a whole lot out there. Tom dug us.
Nothing is happening.
Well, there was the one thing. Did you catch the bit about Morbius?
What about it?
Yeah.
Well, for those who we're gonna quick spoilers, but it's not much of a spoiler because, as you noticed, Michael Keaton was heavily featured in the trailers, right, Andre?
I would imagine that's his entirety of the role in the movie.
Actually, no, he's not in the movie.
Oh, okay.
They took him out, and then he's in an end credit scene, but it's not the shots that we see in the trailers.
Can I ask this question? Just maybe you guys could tell. Why would you pull him out? Why are you trying to distance this film from Spider-Man?
I don't know.
Well, if they're not happy with it,
that's what my only thought is, that the movie's not good.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
And also, Jared Leto has expressed interest in coming back to the Joker. I was like thinking that, so you want to come back for more, right? Then Morbius really didn't work out, did it?
I'm trying to figure it out. If the film is that bad and they're trying to distance it from Spider-Man so they can save Vulture for more Spider-Verse films, that makes sense. Do you think it has anything to do with
in it? But yeah, we just don't know the extent.
Well, the end credit scenes, right?
Yeah, that's it. We just don't know. Yeah, and I can't believe that Leto would want to go back for more abuse on the Joker.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, he got pretty
I love this. I'm sorry.
Snyder cut.
Wow. I don't know why. I thought he was worse than that.
He got bullied. No, well, I think that he didn't get the same level of backlash there. I mean, but you had like all the Snyder boys that were like, "Yeah, bring him back for Justice League Part 2," and that's something he never ever gotten before.
Which is sad, because I really don't dislike him as an actor. I really don't. That's like the only role he's ever been in that I just did not care for, and it's not his fault. It was, unless that was mostly his choice on the spin of the character. I didn't like it. I didn't like Gangsta Joker. I just didn't dig it.
It was a really director.
I think it could have worked, though. We don't know what Ayer had,
Well, we kind of do. And that's what Script Doctor said, is a lot of what he knows of that Ayer cut, it's mostly the same movie. There's just like 10, maybe 15 minutes of stuff that got the typical stuff that gets kind of tossed on the floor. And he said it's not astronomically different. The way he was hinting is like it wasn't even as different as the BBS cut is, from what I was gathering. But that's just me, speculating on how he was kind of explaining it to us. I think people are going to be disappointed by it if it does come out. I don't think it's going to be what everybody expects it to be, is my point.
Okay.
He made it sound more like it'd be different color grading, different cuts as far as like the not so flashy and ADHD.
I thought he said that there was a lot of stuff that was sitting on the floor that he
Ayer's saying that, but we got to remember that they never really took the movie away from him. Script Doctor even said that like he was around through the whole thing. They just had several different cuts of the movie. And basically what we're looking at is more so just like an alternate cut than an actual, like, completely different version. Like, even, Snyder's, like, that's what he's saying. Like, the Snyder cut was way less done than Ayer's version, is my point. All you got to do is finish it up. Like, it just needs a quick polish, probably.
A month, if that.
Wow.
Weeks to a month.
And I heard a rumor.
Releasable.
I heard a rumor we're going to hear about it this month.
Okay.
We haven't heard nothing yet, but there's a few things that are kind of feeding into, like, we might be hearing something soon. So
all of the stuff that's happening over with Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery, whatever that. I think actually,
of all those early of all these Snyderverse films, the Suicide Squad, the original Suicide Squad, was one of the only movies at the time that I gave a good rating. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I don't know where all the hate came from the film. Of course, I have the non-theatrical cut that I favor over the theatrical cut.
I don't think they're that much different either. I mean, they're different, but they're not, like, to me, it's still the same movie.
It's to me, it's like, it's a theatrical cut, and then it's the theatrical cut extended edition. That's really kind of what it is.
Huh.
You're not wrong, and that's kind of what we got out of it.
Sentinel says the biggest difference would have been tone.
That's kind of what I was gathering. The Sentinel is just that it would be less jokey, probably less flashy, less pizzazz, and I think some of the Harley stuff that was reshot later on and stuff was more to lighten it up and all that kind of business. Because there was reshoots, but Ayer was part of those, from what I remember hearing. So,
but I don't know. So Ayer's cut's going to be darker then.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm sure if he gets to do it, he'll probably embellish it a bit more than what it was originally supposed to be, kind of like how Snyder did.
Right.
I'm sure they'll allow him to bring in maybe a few more
would.
scenes that he probably wouldn't have put in normally or something like
Right.
that. But it'll be some 3-hour cut of the movie, and it'll be like, yeah, it was different, but it wasn't that different kind of thing. It's still all going to lead to the same story. That's the thing, is like, it's all the same story.
Yeah.
It's just that's what I didn't like about the Snyder cut of Justice League for the most part, is like, yeah, I get it why people didn't like the Justice League, but it's still the same damn story.
There's some significant differes, but I see what.
Yeah, in the first third, especially, and then partially in the.
Do you think it was bad for them to lose Will Smith for the second film and bring in Idris Elba as essentially?
No, because I actually loved the second film, but I'm not surprised when we found that out, because it totally feels like that was meant to be Will Smith's character.
Yeah.
And also they took the piss out of him, and I'll take Idris Elba in that role any day over Will Smith. I don't think it was a mistake at all. I think it was actually a really, really good move.
Well, I liked the film. They killed the wrong character. Peacemaker should have been the one that was not with us anymore, and we should have had.
But then we wouldn't have had the Peacemaker series.
I still gotta watch that.
You are the only. I know there are people.
But I got The Godfather in the mail today, so.
I'm gonna watch it, and then Andre, we might have a disagreement because I watched a little of it and I was like, no. The first 15 minutes, I'm like, this is dumb. War Monkey slept through the He-Man premiere.
It's all right. It's still there.
It's still there.
Exactly. Just go and check it out right now. I'll share it because
please.
The algorithm is, or not the algorithm, but YouTube has suddenly decided to stop sending notifications when we drop videos and have live streams and stuff. So you really need you guys to help sharing stuff, because this platform sure ain't doing it for us.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm lucky. Yesterday, I got a video that actually got some traction. If you haven't seen yesterday's AI video, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's some very spooky stuff in AI and entertainment and media right now, and you probably aren't aware of it. So just keep that in mind.
I can imagine that. So I look forward to seeing that video.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, guys, if as Andre mentioned, if you haven't seen the He-Man video that was just released over on Midnight's Edge, do check it out. It premiered just about a little over an hour. Well, no, actually 2.5 hours ago. Do check it out. It is worth your time. A little over 40 minutes. It has the kind of the wrap up. It's part 4 of the film that ruined a franchise, right, Andre?
Yeah, that's kind of like.
And we're actually far from a wrap up.
For marketing purposes, we put something along those lines, but it's kind of misleading. And as we make clear in the video, the franchise was already dead by the time the movie came out.
And
really, the movie that failed to revive would have been a more honest title, but that's too long for a title. It's too many words.
Yeah.
So
we're far from done
in the title.
You're far from done.
Oh yes, there's 30 more years of He-Man yet.
Oh, I know. All right,
we have 3 more decades to go here. So yeah.
Wow.
We just made sure that, like I said, because when I told Andre, I'm like, if we're gonna do this, we got to do this right, because nobody has really deep dived into the movie. Like, it's never had a proper making of. It's even the great documentaries that are out there already, from the Toys That Made Us and the Grayskull documentary, they barely cover the movie. And that's probably the most extensive that's out there. And a lot of the movie stuff all got cut from Electric Boogaloo. That bit's out there on YouTube. That's where some of the information is from. I mean, there's very little information outside of that. There was a really great extensive article that was /film that they did, that was a big part of our research. So props to them for that. But like, other than that, it was just data mining, man. We had to dig. And I was digging stuff up from all sorts of different places.
I learned quite a bit in this part 4. So I'm intrigued. If you're going to...
We got new Adventures of He-Man coming. And then, of course, you got the 2000 series.
You got all the shenanigans that happened with the brand in between the two.
I thought we were just wrapping it up with the movie, but this is amazing. You're right. There's a whole lot more
Oh
time
no,
to go.
like Andre said, this is just the end of He-Man for the 80s.
Oh man. Wow. Okay.
And we still haven't gotten to one of the worst acts of blatant cultural vandalism there ever was, which is why we can never have a proper Blu-ray release or 4K release of the original Filmation animation.
Pending somebody finding some
yeah,
somewhere anyway. Yeah.
Which is unlikely to happen, and we should have gotten that, and we can never have it. And the details of why are just gut-wrenching.
And hopefully, I mean, someday somebody at least unsurfaces a print of The Secret of the Sword or something, so we can at least get something out of it in proper HD, but it's not likely.
No. Unfortunately, it's not.
Well, with that being said, gentlemen, is there anything aside from the amazing thing that we just promoted that you want to talk about on the channel upcoming? I know there's a meet tonight.
Yeah, we'll be doing meet tonight. We'll probably be talking about a lot of the same topics we did here.
Oh, cool.
Of course, we got Midnight's Edge in the morning tomorrow, and I believe I got Tom Conkle coming in.
Wow.
A lot of times, Chris shows up on Wednesday, so we'll see if he pops in. Chris Gore, that is. Other than that, I think we're working on a Star Wars video, Andre. Anything else?
Yeah, we are. And we also are going to do a little bit on Gore and on this whole G4 thing.
Oh, Lord.
Because we started it. We did cover it. So we would be remiss not to go through the business aspect of what's happened there since.
Well,
because whenever a company sees fit to rebrand, something has gone down, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say this. I look forward to consuming tomorrow morning's stream from the road. If I have a decent signal in the mobile studio, I might try to join you, but I'm afraid it wouldn't be very good. That's my biggest concern, but I will definitely be watching from the road as we travel tomorrow. So I always look forward to Midnight's Edge in the morning, even when I can't be on. So I love Tom Conkle, Chris Gore, and everybody. It's amazing the people that we get to hang out with. I always say that all the time. I can't believe I get to hang out with these guys and all the amazing people that are on all the channels. So I'm very thankful. So do check out.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you are one of those awesome people that we get to hang out with. So
thanks. But I just want to say thank you again, Andre, for popping in. I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to say it for the 15th time. Check out the He-Man Master of the Universe Part 4 retrospective that they've just dropped. It is totally worth it. 40 plus minutes of great information, and
47 minutes and 8 seconds to be exact.
Yeah.
And Andre, did you see the Ghostbuster game trailer? You might have to upgrade. We might have to see if we can find you a PS5 somewhere.
But they don't exist.
They do.
They do not exist until I get one, and it better be with a disk drive.
Okay. Well, the drive. Yeah, let me tell you, I would not have accepted anything that wasn't, even though it was a Christmas gift for me. I wouldn't have accepted it if it was, just digital only. I'd have been like,
yeah,
no.
Exactly. If someone tries to give me a digital only, like, sorry, not accepted.
I've been thinking about
existence.
Getting one of the digital Xboxes, but I'm not sure what for, because they're pretty readily available now. You can get the Xbox.
Why would you want a digital only Xbox?
I don't know.
Like dust.
I mean, I really only use my other Xbox for media now.
Yeah, 4K, right? Yeah.
Yeah, for my Vudu and my Netflix and Disney Plus and all that stuff. That's one of the better things I have to play them off of. That actually plays the actual 4K UHD stuff in most cases, and the audio correctly.
Get a Kodi. I'll help you set it up.
You've said that, but I still am not sure how to do this. I'm probably gonna have to have somebody come in and help me with it, because, I have no idea.
It's really simple, and I'll you can have some of my NFOs and stuff. Get some pretty kick-ass collections out of that, because with the Kodi and those kind of things, then, or not the Kodi. You mean NVIDIA Shield? You want an NVIDIA Shield?
Oh yeah.
So you get an NVIDIA Shield. You put Kodi on it. And I know XML, and with that I can do all kinds of wizardry with NFO files and create a pretty bitchin' collection.
Nice. That's a little Greek to me, but hey. Olaf, that's what happens when you order an Xbox off of Wish. You get an Xbox instead.
That's funny. Well, on that note, like I said, I really appreciate it, you gentlemen. I hope everything. I hope everything that you have is as successful as I believe today's video is going to be, and I'm glad that everybody here
I hope so.
gets a chance to see it. And with that being said, do check out Midnight's Edge in the Morning tomorrow. Do check out tonight Mead over on Tom's channel, and when you're done with that, head over to Wes Moody's channel and check out some trekking on Tuesday. Other than that, I just want to say thanks for being here. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it is good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Oh, my ears. Blood is gushing out of my ears. Just bought Casino home. Casino home. You don't have to go home. Can't stay here. I don't care where you go. Just the show's done. Go watch our retrospective. See you in a couple hours on me. CultureCasino show. CultureCasino show.